Far above the northernmost waters of the world, sea ice stretched across the Arctic Ocean like a pale, endless mosaic. Snow rested quietly on its surface, and the wind moved across it in soft, patient currents. But beneath that frozen ceiling, life shimmered. Attached to the underside of the sea ice, in narrow channels where salt water flowed gently, lived countless microscopic plankton. They were too small to see individually without magnification, yet together they formed a glowing, drifting community that sustained the Arctic Sea. Each plankton cell was simple and delicate, yet remarkable. Some were tiny algae, shaped like threads or spirals. Others were minute drifting organisms, almost transparent, pulsing gently as they moved. Suspended in frigid water just below freezing, they carried on their quiet work. Sunlight, when it returned after the long Arctic night, filtered through layers of snow and ice. It arrived, softened, blue and silver, scattering into delicate beams beneath the frozen surface. The plankton responded not with noise, but with growth. Within the thin channels of brine that ran through the ice, algae multiplied slowly, using the faint light to create energy. Their colors ranged from pale green to golden brown, tinting the ice underside with subtle hues that only the ocean truly noticed. The water here moved slowly. Currents drifted rather than rushed. Plankton rose and sank in tiny vertical dances, guided by light and nutrients. Optional, gentle, global phrases could drift like currents. Quiet light, luz tranquilla, lumière douce, zinkenaguang, chonganya. Above, polar winds swept across the ice. Below, the plankton remained steady. Their presence was foundational, invisible architects of life. Small Arctic zooplankton grazed among the algae, feeding carefully. In turn, tiny fish larvae would feed on them. And beyond that, seals, whales, seabirds, entire ecosystems would depend on this delicate beginning. Yet here, in this moment, the plankton were simply drifting. When clouds passed overhead, the light dimmed slightly. The plankton adjusted. When cracks opened in the ice, brighter shafts of light poured down, and growth responded again. No sudden movements, only steady adaptation. As spring advanced, melting began. Fresh water trickled downward, carrying nutrients and loosening the ice's grip. The plankton community slowly transitioned, some drifting freely into the open sea as the ice thinned. In the vastness of the Arctic Ocean, they remained small, but small did not mean unimportant. Each cell carried energy captured from faint sunlight. Each drifting organism became part of a greater cycle that stretched across continents and centuries. As evening settled across the ice above, the ocean darkened gently. Bioluminescent flashes flickered faintly in the distance, tiny signals in the cold water. The plankton continued their quiet work, suspended between ice and sea, light and dark. In the Arctic, where silence feels immense and space feels endless, even the smallest life glows with quiet purpose. And beneath the frozen world, the drifting community endured steady, patient, and essential.